Hey guys, so we're going to be continuing on to review with number 3. So we've got a table here that shows the cost per hour to rent a canoe. 1 hour is 15, 2 hours 20, 3 is 25, 4 is 30. We need to write a function that represents this. And hopefully we can tell all of these are written in slope intercept form. So in other words, it would be f of x equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So there's two different ways we can do this. I'm going to show you the direct way, the quick way, the math way. So first I need to find my slope. Well, when I look, it went up $5 for every 1 hour, up 5 for another hour, up 5 for another hour. We know it's linear because there's a constant rate of change. And we know our slope is our rise over our run. So we just figured out m equals 5 over 1 or just 5. And so what it means for us is our slope is $5 an hour. That's what it costs. So we're halfway done. So we know our equation would be f of x equals, we found our m, 5x, but now we got to find this b. This one's a little tricky here. You got to be a little slick. You got to think outside the box. Remember, our y-intercept is when our x or our input is 0. In other words, what would be the cost for 0 hours? You're going to throw yourself off if you say it's 0, because remember, this is theoretical. So just follow our pattern. If 2 hours was 20 and 1 hour was 15, that would mean 0 hours would be $10. That tells you your y-intercept right now. When x is 0, you have your y-intercept. So in other words, b would have to equal 10. So now, according to this, we just built our equation, y equals 5x plus 10. And watch what it means in terms of renting this canoe. It costs $5 per hour plus an initial cost of $10. That's all this equation means. Remember, slope is your cost or whatever per hour. Your y-intercept is your initial cost. What does it cost just to show up and try? So if we're going to show up and do a canoe rental, it would be $10 to start off with, and then $5 each additional hour after that. Now, let's say you were stuck on a test and you forgot all this, and you didn't know how to do it. So we know that our answer right now is A, 5h plus 10. Sorry, I did mine in f of x. I should have done it in f of h. I apologize. But now, let's say this is all we had. Hopefully everyone that's watching this remembers how much I've been harping on solutions since day one. These are all solutions to equations. These are possible equations. A solution to an equation is what you can plug in and it remains true. I've given out bonus points in class for that several times. So now, what it means if I plug in 1 for h, I better get 15 out for f of 1. If I plug in 2, get out 20, 3, 25, 4, 30. And all of them have to go through. We already know A is going to work, so I'm going to show you why the other ones don't work. If I looked at D, what it would mean is f of 1 would have to equal 15. So when I plug 1 in here, I better get 15 out. Well, if I look, it would be 10 times 1 plus 15. 10 times 1 is 10, plus 15 would be at 25. When I look at the D equation, when I plug in 1, I get out 25. That's not what this is, so that does not work. These are not solutions to this equation. When I look at this one, you've got to be careful the whole way through, because when I plug in 1, 10 times 1 is 10, plus 5 is 15. It appears like this one's going to work. But watch when I check out the rest of them. 220. 10 times 2 is 20, plus 5 is 25. When I plug in 2, I do not get out 25. This one doesn't work. When I look at this one, 115. If I plug in 1 for h, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 15 is 20. I should have plugged in 1 and got out 15, but I plugged in 1 and got out 20. That didn't work. A is the only one that would work for all 4 points. So you have 2 ways to do this one. The preferred method, which is find your slope, find your y-intercept, plug them into y equals mx plus b, which I did in the beginning. Or you can look at this and say, okay, these are my possible solutions. Which one has all 4 of these as solutions? Only one does, A. That is number 3, and we'll continue